Welcome to The Scholar's Guide, a podcast where we explore powerful stories of how access to opportunity and strong community transforms lives. I'm your host, Briana Brown, and founder of the B&B Foundation, a nonprofit organization focused on empowering tomorrow's leaders to meet their full potential in college and beyond. Hey, Sonia.
Hi.
Okay, so this is the first time I'm doing this. I already said that to you. But you are our first guest on The Scholar's Guide, which is a podcast for students who graduate from high schools in the metro New York City area and go to college all across the country. And we're creating this series, What I Wish I Knew, to talk to some folks who are in our community who are doing amazing things and talk a little bit about their transition from high school to college and then ultimately their career and where they are today.
Gotcha.
So just to kind of like break the ice and talk about something that, you know, outside of yourself, first of all, or your origin story, why don't you tell me about something that brings you like a sense of peace and something that kind of just brings you away from the craziness of the day?
Okay. Sense of peace, easy. Going to the park and laying in the sun on a sunny day and just like being by myself in the park and drinking a bubble tea.
Okay.
It's like my idea of a perfect, peaceful day. Yeah.
Where is your bubble tea like shop of choice? Like if you could go anywhere today, right now, to get bubble tea.
This is hard because, in New York, I'm not really sure because I'll just go anywhere, to be honest. But I have, there's one specific spot in New Haven, Connecticut, which is, VV Bubble Tea. When I'm in New Haven, I'll go there. And then when I'm in London, there's...
Shout out London.
Yeah, shout out London. There's a spot in Canning Town, actually, and I don't remember the name, but it's, the only bubble tea spot, so I'll go there and get a bubble tea.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're encouraging me because I swear all my friends love bubble tea. I've tried it.
It's not for you.
Not yet. I'm going to get there. Maybe I need to go to London and try it there. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. So just introduce yourself to our guests, however you best, whatever you think captures you. So that could be where you're from or...
Okay. That's a hard one. Well, not hard, but I never know what to say. My name is Sonia, and I feel like the best way I can describe myself is energetic and chill at the same time. Just with I think the nature of what I do, I'm around a lot of people often, so the energy, I have the energy for that, but then because of that, I like to be very chill and do a lot of things in nature. So I feel balance is the best way I could describe myself as Libra. Yeah.
So where are you currently based and what are some projects that you're working on?
I am currently based between London, Costa Rica, and Connecticut. So I spend 5 months of the year in London, 3 to 4 months in Costa Rica, the other months in the States, and I kind of bounce around. So while those are my bases, I can use my time in London to pop out to other countries in Europe. Same thing when I'm in Costa Rica. I can be in Mexico, Brazil, wherever I need to be. And because of that as well, it allows me to work on the projects I'm working on. So I have the Camp Soul project, which is my current one. You were there. Shout out Camp Soul. And so that pretty much is a music festival in nature. Kind of just bringing, for me, it was mainly wanting to bring people from Hartford into nature. And because Hartford's a city. And so a lot of people, a lot of friends I grew up with as well, they never been to a camping music festival. So I want to just combine my worlds and bring that culture to CT, I guess. And same thing, I do pop-ups in Costa Rica and other countries, but the main festival is in Hartford. So I would say that's my main project.
Okay. Right, so you said you were talking about combining your worlds. So where or what are those worlds that you say that you're part of? Yeah.
So for sure, when I'm back home, most places that I play, pretty much actually, all the spaces I'm in, they're Black and brown spaces. And the music that we play, I feel we don't have festivals that allow us to kind of camp in nature and listen to you have an Afrobeat stage, you have a house music stage, you have this, you have all these different stages that again, bring so many different types of people. Whereas like all the camping festivals I've been to are, and I love all music. So I love EDM. I love, electronic festivals. But I feel like they're not really catered to other people sometimes. And so it is just like primarily like a white crowd. And most people that are camping, it's just like, yeah, like that's it. So I feel like that was like my goal with combining worlds with Camp Soul. And also, like I said, like in Hartford, a lot of my friends that I grew up with, they never really like camped. So I'm like, why don't we just make it happen for us? Like we can do that. So that was kind of the whole goal behind it. Was that,
Love that. Yes. And it was, oh my gosh, I was just telling you, like, I cannot wait to go again next year and then actually glamp there too.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Oh, no, that'll be awesome. Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit about like your origin story? So like, what was your life like growing up? Like, what inspired your love for music? And a little bit about like your parents and culture.
Okay, so growing up, I mean, I grew up in Hartford, and I was always involved in music and sports. Really, like I ran track in college, so that was like before I moved to Costa Rica. Actually, I like really never got to dive deep into my music because I just never had time. But I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood. It was like so many different types of people. We had Colombians, Peruvians, Dominicans, Hartford is such a big mix, Jamaicans, like, and so I would say I grew up around a lot of culture. And then with that, I was able to like apply that into like what I'm doing today with my music, and like travel all over and like keep that part of me wherever I go,
So when you were in high school, like, did you envision this, like what you're doing now?
No, I had like no idea that this was going to be a thing, because when I was in high school, I was like so sports focused. So I wasn't really thinking, like I have a degree in psychology, but I didn't do anything with it because I'm like, I don't know. It just wasn't, nothing was really calling to me to use that degree. And so same, like when I went to college, I was just so like locked in on track that I didn't really, I just couldn't express myself in other ways. So I had no idea that this was going to happen, because really the whole DJing thing came from the pandemic. That wasn't even something I had thought about doing.
So what was like your original, I guess, goal when you graduated from college? Like what were your plans then, and how is it different to what
travel.
your plans are now? Yeah.
That did not change. I really wanted to leave. I was just ready to go.
Yeah.
As soon as I graduated, I moved to Costa Rica, 21, didn't know anyone, and that definitely changed my life for the amazing reasons. Like the people that I met, the opportunities I had from being out there. I just feel like I grew so much in Costa Rica, and solo traveling too. Like I feel like that, honestly, I think everyone should solo travel at some point in their life. And in general, like travel as like, and people think you need money to travel. I promise you, I went to Costa Rica with like $1,000 saved and figured it out. Yeah. Like, honestly, I figured it out. My rent was like $300. Like, there's places you can go. You could stay in cheap hostels. I mean, it's all about like, if you want to travel or vacation. Yes. Because like, you can definitely travel for cheap. Like, you could do it. So I think at some point people should just try it and just like, figure it out along the way. Yeah. Okay. No, for sure. I hear that. And you already know, I love to travel. Yeah. That's something that I think we tell our students all the time is to like try study abroad, like where you can go with, a group of other students. You all are all new to the area. You're learning something new. I got a chance to go to Italy for like 3 weeks. Loved it. That was like the first place I went to without my parents. Yeah. So you learn first of all, the food is so much. The food is just so much better. Yeah. Some of the way people interact is just different. Yeah. It's transformative for sure. For sure. Yeah. So I guess thinking about like family expectations and even expectations that you have for yourself, like how would you say that you balanced like your academics, your sports, and even like family, like, and this is like college specifically?
Yeah. Maybe like talk about being like a college athlete and like what that was like.
I mean, I definitely feel like I was just really locked in on the mission of like graduating and like competing well. So for me, I know my story is probably slightly different as a college athlete, because it really is. And for people watching that are athletes, they know it's like sleep, practice, homework, sleep, practice, homework, sleep, practice, homework every day. Like there was no really like, it's just such a repetitive routine that also like with sports, you have to have good grades in order to compete. So like there really is no way you can like kind of mess around and like not stay focused. So yeah, I mean, it feels like a blur now, because I just had one goal.
Yeah.
Was to just like, you have to just do it. And I really feel like it was just like discipline, you know, being an athlete too, like your coaches instill that discipline in you,
yeah,
which allows you to balance things. And yeah, and making time for family as well. I mean, like, I feel like family's understanding, like, when you're away at college, like, you're away, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you have stuff to do. So, yeah.
What would you say was something that you learned about yourself in college during that very consistent cycle?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I feel like what I learned is that you literally need to just keep going, even when you want to like stop and quit. For me specifically, I like just learned like I had to just wake up every day and just do what needed to be done. And that it would like pay off in the end, of course, you know, like I feel like college set me up for the discipline I have now as an adult, but that was definitely just like the training rounds. Like I now get to be myself, that I'm graduated and I'm not in that routine anymore, but it definitely like trained me in the good way, you know? Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I hear that. I think that's something that I feel like I had with my mom and my parents too. Like we were just raised in what felt like almost kind of like militant.
Yeah.
Like just very like, you have this at 6 o'clock, you have this at 7 o'clock. Right. You cannot watch TV during the week. Like it was just, but when you get into that routine, you just build this muscle, and it's just
for sure.
And but I think it also helps you to be almost laser focused on the end goal and the results of whatever that hard work is going to yield.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Thinking about, I think I want to ask you this question also in your career, but for this first part, maybe just like in college, like, is there an opportunity that you had access to that you felt like changed the way you were looking at like what your goals would be for the future, like your trajectory? Like if you think about like a class or a mentor or like an internship or any kind of opportunity or resource that really helped you.
Sorry, repeat the last part. That helped me in what way?
That helped you kind of like, that shifted the way you thought about something, or so I think it actually might be a better question for your career trajectory. Like, is there somebody that opened the door for you, or that just gave you access to something that you wouldn't have had access to? And if so, tell us a little bit about what that thing was, or who that person was who kind of opened that door for you.
Once I moved away and like met other creatives, like I'll always shout out my friend Corey in Chicago. Like he's the one who introduced me in terms of DJing, at least. Like he introduced me to like DJ decks, and I feel like just by inspiring me opened up like a whole new world for me. In terms of like college, there was no specific person in school that like, because I feel like I was just in a different world that I was like ready to kind of be out of. I you know, so I feel like those two worlds are so drastically different that like they didn't really correlate. But I would say in terms of like mindset, like my coach in college kind of instilled in us, similar to what I was saying before, that this like I literally have his words ingrained in my brain. Actually, like kind of, it was like one of the last days of school my senior year, and he was just like, you know, like this is like the real world now, and you have to like wake up and just get it done. Like, and so I feel like that kind of like always carried with me through my travels and my adult life. But yeah, I feel like there was no really like specific person or moment that like did anything that was like allowed me to do the stuff I'm doing. That kind of was just on my own of like, oh no, I just need to like go travel myself. And because most people, they were just like, what, you're gonna go to Costa Rica, like you're gonna do this, like they didn't understand why I was going, what was the reason.
Yeah.
Most people were like, aren't you scared? And I'm like, no, I just want to I want to experience.
Right.
I just want to experience.
Yeah.
So I feel like those really are like the things that open the doors for me. Yeah.
Okay. I love that. This kind of like, there's a lot of people who don't do things because they're afraid.
Yeah.
And when you get beyond that moment and you're just like, you know what, the worst thing that can happen is that this person says no.
Yeah.
And then we're back to where we were before. So absolutely, that's amazing and inspiring also to like decide to do that at like 2021 and be like, you know what, we're just gonna try something different and see how it shakes out.
And you meet people along the way that like are meant for you and your path in that moment. Like I really do believe our souls know where we're meant to be. Like, and I have this thing where like I've never been to a place, but I'm like, I feel like I need to be there. I don't know why, but I just need to be there.
Yeah.
And same thing happened with London. Same thing happened with like, there's specific places that I'm like, oh, okay. And then when you listen to that intuition, it all makes sense. Like everything just kind of like
doors
out.
open.
Yeah, doors open.
Yes.
Like in that way for sure. Like more doors open when you listen to your intuition. Firm believer.
So can you tell us a little bit about what that was like with DJing? Like you said at the start of the pandemic, so like bring us back to 2020 and like what was that journey like?
Yeah. So that was interesting because I was already doing live music. So once I graduated from college and like that whole thing was over, I was done with that. I was teaching English on the side. So I did like a month certification to teach English.
Okay.
And that was kind of like actually my way in the door to Costa Rica. And so with that, I was like, okay, cool. I know I can now teach English, which anyone watching, you could do that and teach English anywhere in the world and like have that as a tool to travel and things like that. But pretty much, once I started teaching English, I was like, okay, I kind of like this, but not like that much. So I had formed a band out there because I was doing live music with my dad, you know, in college and high school, but it wasn't, again, like I was so busy, there was not really like time to kind of fully immerse myself into that. So once I was in Costa Rica and I had more free time, the live music was happening and I was coaching gymnastics on the side. So I feel like I have my hands dipped into like a lot of different pots, like, because I love sports still. I love kids. So I was also trying to just find different ways to kind of like utilize my skills. And so once the pandemic happened, you know, there was no gymnastics classes, there was no live music. And luckily I had bought a little like controller right before everything shut down, because in Costa Rica, like if everything had shut down and I didn't have that, there would be no way for me to order one or like get one at that time. So I just happened to have it. And when everything shut down, I was like, okay, I have free time. Let me just play around, like mixing music. Like it was really on like a self-discovery thing. Like nothing, I didn't really see something where I was like, oh, I want to be a DJ. Like it just happened super organically and naturally. So from then, it was like every day I would post little mixes and blends that I was doing and just keep practicing up until things started to open up. I proposed like, oh, can I just DJ? There was this one place in Costa Rica called Vida Hermosa. And on Sundays, I used to do live music there. But I had asked the owner, like, can I do like a sunset DJ set just to practice? And that sunset DJ set went from like 5 people to 10 people to 100 people to 500 people. Like, and I would play every Sunday to the point that like the whole town would like come every Sunday. And it was like a whole thing. And that is really like was the beginning of my DJ journey, and such a special place in my heart as well. Like Vida Hermosa in Costa Rica will like, I'll always big up Costa Rica for like my whole DJ career because it all started there, which is crazy to think about. Yeah.
Gosh, that's amazing. So what I guess has been one of the more challenging things on this journey to becoming an international DJ that you would share?
Yeah, I think challenging things would be just doing it independently as a woman and traveling and being in like spaces. It depends on the scene too. Like I have now, you know, it's like, how many years? Is it 2025?
5 years.
Yeah, from the time that I started DJing, now we're going on 5 years for sure, which is crazy. I've been in like lots of different spaces. I've done so many different types of clubs, and I definitely feel like challenges at times can be like spaces where other men on the lineup be like, oh, you're good for a female, like da da da, like just comments like that. And then also just like in my space when I'm trying to work, touching the decks and like doing things where it's like I don't want to like make an issue, because if I say something then I'm like looked at as like the B word. I don't know if I can swear on here, but I don't want to like, and I'm too nice at times, so I feel like that has like people have taken advantage of me because I'm too nice. I don't speak up for myself. So it's really taught me to have to like speak up for myself in situations like, no, I'm good. Like, you don't need to touch the decks. Like, I know what I'm doing. And also just really, I think a challenge, which a lot of women that I speak to and friends in the industry go through, is like people playing with your money and time. Because I feel like when you're talking to a promoter or someone books you and you're not like a big scary man that's like speaking for yourself, they feel like it's okay to like wait weeks to pay you, or there's just so many instant like moments like that where it's like, damn, you really need to like be on it, otherwise people will take advantage. So I feel like that's something that has been like the biggest challenge. And it's like, I'm just always learning every day. Like, even now, I do some events where I'm like, why did I sign up for this? Why did I not make them sign a contract? Why did I not do this? Like, it's having to be like your own business woman 24/7, obviously, because it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been the biggest challenge, I would say.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I think there's a lot of women that can relate to, women and creators.
Yeah.
Who can relate to the challenges of just entrepreneurship, needing to then make sure you have your benefits and like just all these other things that sometimes folks take for granted when you're in a more traditional space.
For sure.
There's always trade-offs.
Yeah.
Like with whatever. Okay. So Sonia, next question. What would you say is a change that you want to see in the world throughout the work that you do?
Okay. A change that I want to see in the world throughout the work that I do. I don't know if the way I'm going to answer this is going to make sense, but I feel like obviously through music, like it's cliche, but music's very healing. And I do believe that like music and spaces like community spaces hold so much power. And so I feel like through what I do, like we can make a lot of changes, positive changes, just for the simple fact that like even after Camp Soul, like my mom told me that someone had like spoke to her and was like, these events have saved my life. Wow. And that is such a powerful thing to say, because like who knows what people are going through, like, but to know that like a space that we were able to create like had that impact on someone, like imagine that on greater scales. So I feel like definitely like when there's the right intention, because I've also been in spaces where it's like I feel like this is not like a welcoming space, or maybe there's just like a negative vibe in the room. Like that also matters with the person who's curating the space, Right. So I feel like making sure like, the right people are curating these spaces, and it's very healing for like a lot of people. Yeah.
So with Camp Soul or even any of the other projects that you're working on, like what do you think contributes to making a space feel warm and welcoming?
Yeah. I think definitely allowing like, I'm a big believer on like the inner child being free, and so like creating this childlike wonder, but like for adults, and literally like camp, like a summer camp for adults was like kind of the idea behind that too. And so I feel like, just not taking things so seriously, like having like just a warm mystery kind of like storybook wonder, for me at least with Camp Soul. Like that's definitely what we're trying to push. And like even bringing elements of like the games when we were kids in school, like the big parachute rainbow thing. Yes. Like that is like where I feel like, okay, people can be themselves, they can have fun. And also like with events too, like the more you attract those people, it's like the more they'll come, and it's like so many like-minded individuals that are kind of all in the same vibe. And I feel like with Camp Soul, that's kind of what we're trying to do.
That's awesome. Yeah. And having attended, I can definitely attest, like, it was amazing. It was just such a, like, an intimate space. And, but then also to be in nature, and I can't wait for next year. Like, it was really fun. So in thinking about that and just kind of like the cyclical nature that we're talking about, right? Like, someone came to your festival and was like, this is what I got out of it, and it's like really propelling me forward. What are some things that people have done for you, or like what would you say is one of the nicest or kindest things that has been done for you?
Yeah. Honestly, I think specifically just like, again, I'm bringing it back to Chicago, because when I was in Chicago, like, I met a group of people, like Corey I had mentioned earlier, and Ben is another friend of his, and Rocio. Like, it's basically these group of people that were like older than me, like maybe 5-10 years older than me, but like they because I was like kind of looking up to them just like taking their time to like show me new things and open my eyes to so many new things. I feel like it was just something that like made such an imprint on me. And it's crazy because even last night I had messaged them, and I saw in my Facebook memories like 5 years ago or 6 years ago today, we did a road trip from Chicago to Colorado together. And like, I don't know, just like learning from them just taught me so much. And I feel like, yeah, again, them taking the time out to like always, like, they didn't even know me well, and they would like let me stay over. We'd cook food together, and like they would just like hearing them talk about their life experiences, like I just learned so much. And so yeah, that was definitely some, like those people specifically, I feel like yeah,
I feel like there is something really powerful about that cycle where someone has poured into you and then you're able to do the same for somebody else. And that I think that's something we also try to make sure that our students are aware of, is that you know, you're graduating from high school, you're involved in this program, or you receive a scholarship of some type. What things are you doing to pay it forward for the next student that's coming behind you? And you're never too young to become a mentor, or to even you know, and then receive that same mentorship back. Like, I feel like it's such a, both people leave healed, or like just feeling more whole from that exchange, for sure. So that's awesome.
There's another woman too who I met in Costa Rica. Her name's Keisha, and she definitely, she's in her 40s or 50s, but like she also is someone who like just has such strong words of advice. She like owns her own business and does like a lot of things, and she'll always like, I'll post things and she'll always reply to the stories, like kind of, if I'm posting things like how I was saying earlier with just like being a woman in the industry or getting taken advantage of, she's like, no, like you need to start doing this, you need to write a contract, you need to do this. Like having, again, like those words, like wise words from someone older, it just makes such a difference. And she's also like helped me grow in a lot of ways, more than she probably even knows. But
that's awesome. And that's so great that you have that relationship with them too. So I guess just to wrap us, so the final question, which the name of the series, right? Like, what I wish I knew. So what is something or some things that you wish you knew when you were in college before making this transition to what you do today?
What I wish I knew. I would say it's not necessarily college, but I would say just like in my early 20s, I believe like, oh, everyone is just so nice. Like everyone, you know, it has pure intentions. I would say just to like, not everyone is, not to be like dark, you know, but just like, I feel like it's important to always just protect yourself. And again, I feel like that goes along with like what I was saying earlier with the whole contract thing. So just whatever you're doing, like as an independent worker, if you're self-employed or, you know, in general, it doesn't matter what field you're in. I feel like what I wish I knew is like, no, some people don't have like your best interests at times. And it's like, just important to know that and like protect yourself early. And just like be aware of like things like that. Because I feel like that makes a difference. And like even just in business settings as well, like, you know, it's just important to like be an advocate for yourself and never like let anyone kind of like walk all over you.
Absolutely. Like when you say that, I hear discernment. I hear like, you know, making sure that your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed,
Yeah.
because you never know like
Yeah.
what someone else's intentions are.
Right.
And I think the more that, you know, you do continue to still put yourself out there, and you learn from those mistakes
Right.
too.
Right.
And it just helps your discernment increase more and more.
For
but
sure.
but yeah, definitely like knowing your boundaries, like
Right.
knowing where you're headed,
Right.
and making sure that no one else is going to get in the way of that. Yeah.
Which comes with time and like, and there's nothing wrong with like figuring it out, because that's the whole point of life. Like, we're just trying to figure it out, be good people. And I mean, I'm still in my 20s, but like, I feel like I've learned so much in the first half of my 20s, and like, you know, I'll be 29 next 2 weeks. So,
happy birthday.
Thank you. So yeah, I think also like knowing too, nothing is ever that serious either.
Yeah.
Like, we have to just enjoy life. There are so many incredible people in this world as well. Like for all the like bad, weird people, like there's even more amazing people.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, navigating your way through that.
Right.
Figuring it out.
Oh my gosh. Well, Sonia, thank you so much. Y'all, this is my cousin. Okay.
Yes,
just gonna shout that out. All right. Jamaica's in the building. So but I'm just so happy that you were able to join us and talk to us a little bit about, you know, what it's like and some of the challenges with doing something different. That there isn't exactly a clear path laid out, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take those steps forward and like be that pioneer, that entrepreneur to go and do that. So we're rooting for you.